Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to Wargame Red Dragon. We have the second in a best of 3 between my own team and Donski's team here in the Knights and Squires tournament. And I'm playing as Scandinavia. We're starting over here on the blue force side. My ally Feelgood is, I believe, playing Eurocore up here starting at the top. And for the Red 4 team, we have Donski and Red Havoc. We did win Game 1, and now Donski and Red Havoc are answering into Game 2 with Eurocore and Blue Dragon. So we have a lot of people in chat hoping to be on this stream today talking about this game. So if anybody who's on, I think we have Haymaker, I think we have Feelgood as well, and Fenor, maybe one or two others, just to want to introduce yourselves and tell me what you're thinking as we get into the opener.
Hey, feel good. This was a fun match. All the CVs on the opener here, I felt like that. It was a really big impact initially.
Yeah, and so actually, just to point that out here, our team decided to start with 4 CVs going into both these +2 zones. The Red 4 team did not. They very much wanted an early board presence and took it in Hotel with Donski's Tiger coming over and just, killing both of the things I sent into Hotel. I didn't expect that. You had a Hap, but rotating this late would have been a little bit risky. So we're going for that early +4 tick, and they're hoping to win the opener, basically. Which means very early on, our task was pretty clear here. We want to hold them off in the opener, and even if we hold to a stalemate after that, we should be in a really nice spot because of this +4 tick, giving us 60 points every single minute. And some of that's guaranteed.
Now, hold on a moment.
Yeah.
We have a big push coming in between Echo and Lima.
Yeah, we do.
A whole bunch of VAT 20s. Although, I don't know why I don't see any AA in there. AA in there would have been very helpful against the Hap.
Yeah, well, I mean, their AA is concentrated over here, and I think maybe sometimes your opener reflects your own strategy, not your opponent's. And I think we have a bit of that going on, just because this is where the Red 4 team sent their Tiger. This is where they expected maybe that aggressive helicopter opener from us as well, and not so much in the middle. So I agree with you. Very nice observation. They need that support over in Lima, and they don't have it just bringing out a Cartel now, and that allowed this Panther and the Tigers nearby to really stall that opener. But they are still into the woods. Go ahead, Haymaker.
We've also had tournament matches on this map before, and I think previously it's been mentioned that it's typically a bit stronger to focus your opener in Echo or up on the ridge line in Bravo. I'm wondering if we're going to still see this same thing where they use all of these points to take control of Hotel, but then they can't hold it because Hotel's so difficult to hold on to.
Yeah, that's quite possible. I mean, I think Donski and Red Havoc are doing a nice job of moving over the points that they had spent there into Echo, but this is such an awkward attack angle, and the whole reason I played Scandi in this match was to put 15 strength infantry into building blocks. And that's just, it's kind of roadblocking them right now. It's like Northland's Jaeger can actually kill these Kyotokus and the Hachinanas that would usually be providing good pressure. I actually think they did a fine job of recovering from going into Hotel too heavily, but it's just a little bit too late, and I don't know.
They still haven't bought CVs. That's the other big problem. They're only just getting their first CV out for the 2-pointers. Honestly, having played this map before in the tournament, I think that the dominant strategy is almost certainly to buy both CVs to get both 2-pointers secured at the start, just because you can be defensive enough. And I think they're gonna suffer from having this +4 go for almost 4 minutes now.
Yeah, I think that's very true. And one more thing I want to point out, I guess, here, we see this pressure coming in with Habyong, Hudao Ren. I think in comms at the time, Feelgood and I were a little bit worried about this, especially when Habyong made contact with that 2A1. And this stuff was all here early on. I think another thing that sort of helps us hold in the opener was some of their pressure not coming in at the same time. Imagine this coming through earlier, when there isn't Panzergren and all this sort of stuff to roadblock them, and when we have split focus trying to hold Echo, trying to recover from the, oh shoot, all of my opener helos are gone here, do we have anything to hold? I don't know, openers, whenever you're playing a map this big, because I really think this is often more of a 3v3 map to have the sort of unit density people are used to, coordinating your opener takes a lot of effort.
I think the other issue is they have a lot of units on the line that are primary combat units. They have these K1s, AMX-10, RC, SBs, and for a good while in the opener, it felt like they were just sort of sitting there in Lima, not engaging.
Yeah, but
the same thing was in India as well, where you have just a sizable number of units that could be engaging if they want to take advantage of their plus 200 points in the opener, but they weren't, right? Which is, I think, going to be a problem with actually capitalizing on that points advantage.
Yeah, that is fair, but you know, we've picked on red a lot, and there are some things to pick on here for blue as well, and I think one of them is this decision. I wanted to go in and cap Delta, and I think this was maybe not the best. I was hoping to push toward an early surrender by just getting more and more and more tick, but if we think about it, with 34 minutes left, if these lines settle out, red can hold a +1 tick for long enough to recover, so that 200 and some is intimidating, but it's not the end of the world just because there is so much time left, and if red had been able to put a bit more pressure onto here, we're now looking at not a +1 for red, but potentially a +2 if they can countercap into Bravo, and so I think my own CV buy here was very much not the right play. This 121 really has nowhere to live either because it's being zoned out by Donski's 2A5, and the 2A5 is a bigger, meaner tank. I don't want to take this thing head on. 23 AP, 22 front versus 23 AP, 19 front. My 121 will suffer at max range, so I think it was a bit greedy to do
about
that.
100 points in ground assets to try and get a counter stroke.
Yeah.
Either an Indy or Lima, I think that would have been far more decisive than just a continued +1.
Yeah, and then over here, this replacement 2A1 from Feelgood, this is one of the things, I know my teammate is here with us in the voice chat, so he's going to hear whatever the heck I say right now.
Let me
but,
guess, smoke my tanks?
Yes, smoke your tanks, and I think it was the wrong call.
Yeah.
The first one got just rolled over by Habyung, which is understandable. I mean, it just had not enough time to get into a good position to hold off, but the immediate replacement, I think, prevented us from getting things like a double stack of falls instead of a single that could have helped clear this out. And yeah, there's a K1 here, but you're showing exactly why they can't really use that to pressure in right now, because your Tiger is in the right position, and this is very close to our air lane as well. So I think holding off a little bit on the 2A1, calling this in after a couple more units of infantry, might have helped us wrap this up just a little bit quicker. Ooh man, we missed a little bit of an air duel. Oh, right, this was goofy. MLU came out and then took out an ASF because definitely a balanced unit.
Now, is that an elite MLU or the
That was a down vet.
lower veterancy? Down vet MLU. That's
Yeah.
That's
So-
pretty impressive.
Yeah, I got lucky. Definitely got lucky. And I'm sorry we missed that. I'll try and stay a little bit more zoomed out here because that was one of the moments I think after this that Donski was saying he felt like some of the air trading here was, even if it wasn't maybe a turning point, it was a set of things that sort of put the final nails in the coffin on their control over Hotel. Right,
So if we were looking at Red 4's position at this point, because I'd probably say Blue 4 is heavily advantaged at least at this point, just from tech alone. What would you look for from Red 4's perspective to get back into this game?
So you're asking me if I'm red, what do I do?
Yeah.
Okay. Is Fenor still in the chat as well?
Yeah.
So I want to give my answer, then I really want to ask you as well. What I would do if I were red is I would try and get infantry across this river. Because I have a 2A5, I had previously some recon infantry here. Trading has gone pretty well here. I know I don't really care about the 121. And the second red gets stuff here, then blue has to set up an entire defensive line or risk them getting into the 2-point. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's very devastating. So I think doing that, and then taking this stuff and using this open space, you'll need good smoke micro for it, but really pressuring in, not into the Kustjägeri and Legion and Norrlandsjägeri and all of that Scandinavian infantry, but trying to force Scandinavia to fight a straight up tank battle against Eurocorps, where the 2A5s can dominate, I think would be a very nice thing. Fenor, what do you think?
I think that Scandinavia is extremely strong defensively, but very awkward to attack with. So if I'm playing against Scandi, I would prefer to cap and make them attack. The M41s are going to run out of fuel. They're amazing defensively, not good in attack. Same thing with Nordlands.
We don't even have to use future tense for these. Goodness gracious, sakes alive. Okay, so what you're saying there, I guess, would be go ahead and get that +1 going quickly, and force blue to realize we can't let that +1 happen for 30 minutes.
Yeah, and I would probably not go across the river just because it's very risky. You're so close to your opponent's spawn. They can reinforce so much more quickly, you'll get overwhelmed. It's very easy to overextend, and either you lose your AA or you lose your infantry that are screening your tank. You only need to lose one thing, and then you can't reinforce for like 4 minutes.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair. Ooh, block 52D. Oh, this was a little bit of a seed bait there. Good times had by all. Man, Scandinavia struggles so much with fuel, it really just is insane. I can't even move these guys out of the line of fire. They're just chilling. Goodness gracious. You know,
Yeah, boy, I usually take one card of M41s, and then
Yeah.
I'll take like a Wildcat, or if it's Landjet, I'll take the Recon Leopard, even though it's not nearly as cost effective.
that was a very nice pickup
That
from
is
Donski.
why- That's why the peace friends are great. You get so many of them. They're always they're always something to worry about.
A lot of pings. Where were those pings? I couldn't see.
You get 2 of them, right?
Yeah, one card too.
Yeah, typically Blue Dragons decks take 2 cards of Peace Fest 2s.
So, feel good. Since you were here with us, what were you thinking about this point in the match? Were you feeling good, bad, like we were winning, losing, defensive, offensive?
I was feeling very positive. I felt like I was getting good trading. I mean, typically whenever we play, I tend to focus on kind of a narrow path, and you take the mid and the flank. And I felt like I was getting good trading on my side, and I'm building up to push right now, I believe. And
So let's take a look at that real quick, and then we'll flip back to neutral. Yeah, I mean...
yeah, it's a little
yeah.
focused.
And criticism of this would probably center around a lot of players in team games. Like, the better you can coordinate both people working together, the more powerful that combined push can be. But we do have a habit to do this, don't we?
Yeah, I think it works, and you know, we're finding success this match with it. Although going forward, and like especially in the higher tiers of this tournament, that might be something that I think we could definitely improve on as a team.
Yeah, fair enough. That's very fair.
Keeping both yourselves to each side also makes it a lot less taxing on micro, because you don't have to deal with both players don't have to deal with microing 2 different areas. You can all focus on one and have everything on your screen all the time.
Yeah, that's fair. Maybe part of what we're suffering from here is that this is just so wide, since it is a 2v2 map, and like
Right.
maybe some of that
Yeah.
will... Oh, jeez, I hate it when it does that. Maybe some of this will come down to what we're actually playing on. What were we shooting at? Oh, man. Good beacon. It's so satisfying to have the good beacon after playing Scandi Mac and just always having the bad beacon. It's... so refreshing.
Do you have 2
Maybe
fobs
you're
out?
firing it from them.
Yeah, I have 2 fobs out. Or do I? No, I don't.
Interesting.
Oh, that's right. This deck had 2, and I completely forgot to deploy the second one. So, you know, excellent use of activation points there.
This is something that I've wondered.
Mhm.
The triple fob strategy seemed to have been very popular in this 2v2 tournament. Could you explain some of the logic behind that? Because I've typically found that conventional wisdom is 1 fob per player, and then just to reduce the overspending of points on fobs in the open.
Yeah, so the general... Oh, man. The general idea of going with more than 1 fob per player, this was... Oh, that was very nice.
That's disgusting.
The general idea behind it is that team games can often devolve into static fronts with a high amount of artillery making the difference. And so when you bring only 1 fob per player, when you're doing things like beacons, you can go through them and end up with the last 10 minutes of the game just not able to shoot anything from your backline. If your opponent brought an additional fob, by that point in the game, those 75 points aren't that impactful. But what is impactful is still having their 10 HE firing, still having all of this stuff firing and supporting their front line. So that's sort of the rationale. And I think it's also something that might scale with the size of the map that you're on. So I was trying to get a pincer here on the 2A5. 1 strength.
Yeah, smaller maps, from what I've seen, tend to, if you don't have breakthroughs right away, they do tend to get a bit
become that
staticky,
grind,
especially
yeah.
if there's a lot of forest.
So
I
feel
think
good.
there's
Your push
also
has
an-
started.
Yeah, I think there's also an element of like redundancy though, like especially if there's a lot of fob sniping going on, which I think is something that we've ran into in this, is having a backup. You know, maybe it's just gonna get spotted if it's on a smaller map, but on a map like this, you can hide a third one pretty well. I
Yeah, that's
This
true
is
as
one of the
well.
drawbacks of a piece, Ryan.
think. Yeah,
Sometimes it just misses twice. Yeah.
I think the miss is happens more often than it really should.
Yeah, so just to say what I was thinking at this point, I was a little worried about the planes from Red Havoc since they had seemed to, sort of be coming in and going out, and we weren't super strong on anti-air here. It's actually why my Block 15 is coming in this way. But I was quite happy with sort of a little bit of back and forth in Hotel with Donski, where the 121s, having this one and then having the other one repairing, and sort of using both of these to make up for the fact that the 2A5 is a little heavier. I was very happy with this because it's a delay. And whenever you're ahead by this much in conquest points, often a delay can translate to a victory. So that's part of why I didn't go for a cap here. It's part of why I wasn't like pushing a Lima, or it's part of why I was very content to let Feelgood just grind against Red Havoc's units here in India and have this fight go on inconclusively, because whoever's up on tick benefits from the inconclusive state of a game. And right now that's us.
I also think that trading over hotel is pretty inconclusive as well.
Yeah,
It's nice
maybe.
to be able to push up, force ground to be lost, because they bought a whole Leopard 2 to cap hotel, and now that has nowhere to go.
Right. On the other hand, I'm not smoking my tanks well, so this is risky.
You're still getting away with it because
Because
these runs
planes
are
are
currently
saving us.
asleep.
Right.
They're
but
currently taking a nap.
planes will only save you so far. So actually, this Tiger, we've been able to see it the whole game, but
Are those
during the
M1A1
match we
out of-
couldn't.
Are those out of fuel?
Yeah, Scandinavia problems. Oh
you
man.
refuel those and they ran out again.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, Scandinavia
So
problems.
maybe you
are
should like set
fired.
up like a refueling outpost or just behind you, not even for repairs.
So you were fire positioning that position.
Yeah.
That's typically a standard recon position. How
So the
how
reason
likely?
I fire paused this because my automatic was spotted. It turns out it was from these Tukchansa.
Okay.
So I guess wrong, but I guess reasonably, I think.
Alright, state of the mid game. Now we're in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
What would be your opinion of the force disposition? Who has the higher forces currently on the map? Who has the lower ones? And who has the better position, arguably, excluding the points?
I'd say, contrary to the beginning bit where Red was applying more pressure and we were sort of defending inside of Bravo and defending behind Hotel, I'd say now it's at least even. And because Feel Good has been pressuring into India, I'd actually go so far as to say we're favored, because getting pickups like this one after another with that Leclerc, Leclerc's kill list was insane after this game, and just sort of keeping that together, I think was putting us in a better and better and better position over time.
I also believe that the Fallschirmjäger taking that building position right in front of the Leclerc is going to be a pretty big deal for a continued assault on the
Yeah, this is very key. Oh jeez, I hate it. I don't know why it snaps to planes. One thing I would have liked to see, whenever you're doing a push like this and you're just trying to keep up pressure, especially with Eurocore where you have a really, really nice reservist box, occasionally pre-buying a couple, like 4 or 6 units of reservists will just help you maintain that pressure a little bit longer. And it sounds kind of derpy because you're sitting there going like, okay, we'll just get combat ineffective troops up here. But it also sometimes translates into being able, oh, so many misses. Look at that. There, all
holy
my
crap,
good
the-
map.
The,
Oh, yeah.
Block 15 is underperforming for once.
Yeah. It'll help you retreat your shocks out too. So when you have those reservists to go up there and take the brunt of that fight when it turns bad, you can get your important units out faster and then not need to rebuy a Panzergren, rebuy a Legion, and things like this. And it translates to a better position in the long run. So this was crazy. I don't know why I took that fight with the Rafale. And MLU. Oh, come on. Double miss. Triple miss.
Oh,
See, I have
French
bad luck in the
biased.
air sometimes.
French bias.
Yeah. So
Of course, it's French bias.
this engagement was a little bit greedy for me, especially because the second 121 is out of position. It needs to be up here. But I was really hoping to get a side shot on one of these 2A5s, or to come in with something like the MLU and finish off one or both of these tanks, because the second 2A5 makes my 121 strategy not quite as strong. So here we go. Except I'm engaging Chumot, and I get hit there.
Where
and
is your second 121?
It's right back
wait,
here.
Never mind, I'm blind.
It's okay, I can't find hay in a haystack, so... Oh, more planes. This is such a... It's an intensely active map, very often, but down goes 121 to a Peace Pheasant, and it was well deserved. I was not smoking my tanks. So I wanted to force that engagement to kill a 2A5. I did force the engagement. I lost a 121. That's a big turn. That sort of revises my opinion of who's doing much better, because Hotel is now flipped, I think, toward red, just because I can't do anything against those tanks now. On the other hand,
How
we do
long does red need a +1 to be able to set tie? Or
20 minutes. Well, 19 minutes.
Need 19 minutes. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're getting close here to where they need to push you out of 2 locations.
Yeah, very close to it. So this Leopard 2 CV needs to be in Hotel.
Ooh, the Kustya guys are very dangerous.
Yep.
Gotta
Miss.
get
Oh, no.
Miss.
Oh boy. Miss.
Hit. Hit.
Hit. Am I gonna hit? Hey!
Yes. Yeah, that made up for it. I was very happy. So
Those Scandi special forces are very dangerous to tanks, like incredibly dangerous.
yeah, these guys are insane. I mean, I know a lot of people who play Scandi on spec as 15 strength the deck, and it's very easy to see why. Kustjägeri are just amazing. Norland's Jägeri, they're not my favorite, but even I have to admit they do play a role. I do want to say something I really liked from Red Havoc at this point. Oh, jeez, stop zoning. I'm not. Something I really liked from him at this point was the tank build up here. So double K1, non-Inchiki G. I think with some infantry in front of this, he probably would have been able to retake this town block right now, because you get some cheap infantry or reservists moving here, and there's enough tanks behind that any one of these infantry that engages and gets spotted is going to get killed. What's happening instead, though, because there's no ability to approach you, is we're just pounding him with the Cesar and Beacon, and...
I would actually say that he can push right now with the recon units, because it doesn't have to get into the town to be dangerous. It just has to be at the edge where it triggers the MGs.
Yeah, that's true,
And,
but he's
yeah.
running into... Like, the Fallschirmjäger have a tertiary off right now, true, which is very nice micro. But if these guys got close enough to spot regardless, you turn that on, and these guys are dead in about 5 or 6 seconds. You're not guaranteed to clear out that section.
And as
Also,
yeah, he should probably be buying some.
Oh, we have a
Also,
fight,
we can just
near
go off
Hotel again.
down, and then the fire support can kill the infantry.
Hey, there's a fight going on in Hotel.
Sorry, Fëanor, it's really hard to
Pushing
hear you,
with the
man.
mortars.
Oh, you want to try again?
I was just saying that you can smoke off the town if they do try to spot you,
Yeah.
and they walk infantry through the smoke and just get slaughtered.
Yeah, so what he's talking about...
That is heavy artillery.
Yeah, so feel good. A little bit of smoke right here, and these guns can't line up. Although it
Yeah,
does look like Keyhow's being proven right. I overestimated how
Told you.
quickly these guys would die.
There we go.
Oh, nice.
Well, there's the smoke showing up.
Well, now the
And I think my
it's
Falls should
gonna
make
be
a
an
good-
SF battle in the town.
Falls should still win this, I think.
Yeah, the Falls.
They took some fire though, so they're panicked.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it'll be
Half
close.
Both sides are
strength
panicked, but
and
the-
that and panicked. I don't know. I think the
Tuction style.
Koreans will take that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Albeit barely.
Yeah, very close. So, Patsu Tiger sneaking up, Peace Shrine, Panther, the Leopard 2 is in, Red 4 is ticking +1, and this, I mean, I don't know why I put my NASAMs up here so far, to be honest. I mean, frontline AA, right? Like,
NASAMS is kind of a funny unit though, because it's theoretically very good against planes, because it unloads, I think, 2 or 3 AMRAMs per flyby, but I believe if it flies right over NASAMS, the NASAM's not as effective.
Yeah, that's true. On the other hand, I just lost another ASF. Red is slowly but surely gaining air dominance on this side of the map, and I'm losing my ability to hold them off. So this worried me quite a lot, and I'm curious, Feelgood, did you care about what was going on here at all at this point, or were you confident enough in India that you didn't think losing Hotel would matter?
I don't know, confident. I mean, I was feeling confident. I was not super aware of what was going on over there, though.
Tunnel
Kind of a
vision?
lack of awareness. Yeah, definitely tunnel vision there.
I mean, that happens. That happens, especially with how much is going on, right? So engaging here, engaging there. Let's see. 1390s. Yeah.
Voodoo Ren's in town? Question mark?
Yeah, no, that's not bad at all. I mean, the 1400 meter range will help you keep this corridor clear. Like, imagine these 1390s start moving up. They're gonna get hit.
Did I just move? I didn't attack move those Panzergren?
Oh god, that hurts to see.
Oh.
No. Sad peak run. Very sad peak
Oh,
run.
no.
Big Ren.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Double Peace Pheasant 2 and a 52D. This is that blue dragon's oppressive air tab coming into force.
Yeah, I was engaging with my tanks here, and I think he was trying to get line of sight back on them, but I just pulled them out. And I believe, yeah,
Yeah,
there was
looking
some
for those
weird line of
leopards.
sight business going on here.
What
I
is
think a
going
ninja
on?
would come in real handy here for red side.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, there was one floating around. I'm not sure what
I
happened.
think it got shot down by
Yeah.
something.
Crits all
No,
double hit,
he
though.
has the ninjas right over his CV. It's just not positioned.
Hey,
where
Kiha,
the
look.
spot.
Who now ran in town?
I think the Voodoo Ren were really obvious though.
Boom.
Ah, damn.
Dead.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, the-
thought they were obvious.
Now I'm actually. This is a pretty decent defense. The Peace Pheasants. He lost one, but traded one for a 2A1, which is a reasonable trade.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Red
still has
Havoc blunt
another-
this twice now.
He just needs to be buying reinforcements for it.
So on this
Ooh,
side,
Is Sarah actually going to get a side shot on the SDRV?
they're open for it. I spotted them
If they-
though, so we're pulling back,
If they
but
can
into
get
the
that
285.
side shot and the 2A5 get the follow up, that would be a big deal.
I mean, the SDRV
One.
121's not smoked right now, so it's just dead.
Nope, I'm not smoking my tanks. It's gonna become a bit of a meme, but you know, I deserve to lose that
But
one.
we do have the MLU response. Does the MLU get the kill? Or does it split fire too much?
Nope.
We get the KF-16C though. One of my favorite units in the entire game.
Ladies and
Ah,
gentlemen, a down-feted MLU, but it just died, so that's a 1-for-1.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Oh,
the Tiger there, like, how come my Tigers, they never land those stingers against planes? There's 70% chance, never lands against planes. My MLU was like half a second from pulling out.
I'm surprised they're retreating the Leopard 2 here, though. Yes, they have the disadvantage against the one. Oh,
Ooh, okay, that's rough.
I love Swedish S-tanks.
you still have the 2A5 though. Even with the Leclerc loss, I feel like you need that tech because you're just so far behind in tech.
The
Yeah,
hero
they
dive
do.
with the
Yeah.
F-16A was a choice.
Pick up the
Ooh.
285. Yeah, I mean, this is just, it's just both players, both teams losing so many points so quickly, it's absurd. That's what that last 2 minutes was. Goodness gracious.
Yes, that was a hard swing one direction and a hard swing the other. But they still have a super heavy, and y'all don't have any heavies or super heavies in this zone.
And,
Pretty sure Hotel should remain.
yeah, it should remain red.
MLU.
good. It should remain.
You say
Oh,
that,
this
but
was-
I know
this
there's a
was
unit
fun.
that's
Yeah.
called 115.
This is the most satisfying 2 minutes of my entire life.
So, Feelgood, I'd asked Feelgood to send his Tiger over here, and I think at the time he was like, wait, but I need it on my side. And there it is, that pickup, because I mean, it's just,
That was
Hero
like
unit.
another Patu in there too, I think.
yep, kill the Pod 2, kill the CV tank, kill the Leclerc.
Oh
God.
my.
Okay, that is disgusting. That is completely disgusting.
Yeah,
Hold on, elite veterancy question mark?
yeah,
Elite
There
veterancy?
are-
no,
There are a handful of units in the game, and helicopters are one of them, that the moment they get an opening can just completely turn the tide of the fight.
yeah, and we just saw it right there, and so that, I mean, that Tiger was perfectly positioned. Could not have
Yeah,
asked for better coordination there from Feelgood.
I think you
think
did
at this point
literally
the game is
ask for
pretty-
that, and for that point too. Like for that location, you did identify
I
it
did.
specifically. Yeah.
So
I
at
think
this,
at this point the game is pretty sealed in favor of Team 1.
yeah, and part of that too, we didn't talk about it previously, but Feelgood has a Leopard 2 CV up here, and so we're ticking +1 with 10 minutes left. 300 points to 100, 150 points left for either team at +1 tick. Red has a bit of a hill to climb here, and this is the second game of the best of 3, so if we take it, then Team Donski is out, and if Team Donski takes it, they still have to win another game to seal the series. So there's a lot of pressure on the Red 4 team right now, and I gotta say, they really, really, really wanted this win. So we're gonna see just unrelenting pressure for the time remaining in this match. They did not give up at all, and it might work for them. It might work out. I'm not gonna say either way, but it is definitely an uphill battle, especially, I mean,
Yeah.
things like that. Like that ninja did not need to die there and should have been able to see the hap. So when it gets down to the wire like this, losses like that can make or break a game, especially now. So this is my attack marker, and I think I was just telling Feelgood I'm just going to pound this section of forest because there's reservists up here. I didn't really think there was likely to be the CV back on this side, and this is just completely shameless CV/backline sniping. I figured if they build up a push, it might be here. If they have a CV, it might be here. If they have anti-air, it might be here. Let's just take the beacon that has nothing else to really do right now and pound in there. Could have probably gotten away with shooting at this town as well, but...
What was your supply situation at this point? Because if you were running low on supply, maybe you would have reconsidered to just wait a bit until you needed the artillery.
I mean, decent amount left. This beacon hasn't been firing constantly.
I'm dry. I think I'm on my last couple supply trucks too.
Yeah, you're out. Cesar with... How many volleys is that? Is that 2 volleys for the Cesar?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think 3.
Yeah.
Sure.
We are
I
running
think
low.
three is probably it.
If this beacon had been firing more consistently, we would have needed a 3rd fob to keep up pressure into the last 10 minutes of the game. So hey Maker, there's your explanation in action right there.
If they massed the units over in Lima, do you think they could have been able to make a breakthrough or sorry, a break for Echo, Delta, and then one of your 2-pointers?
I don't think so. I think the way to have done that would have been to attack through Hotel into Delta when they had the advantage there, and this is just unabashed greed. I have 0 clue why I sent this in, but...
Greer.
No, actually, I kind of disagree. I feel like depending on the assets they have in their decks, you could, if you kept it hidden, make a pretty significant push, because all you have is the Legion and the Commandos that are going to hold that line. So if you have a, let's say like you have a spam push with some AMX-10s mixed in there and some recall and some hatchies, that could penetrate and potentially get the CV in Echo and the CV in Delta, and that would be really difficult for y'all to respond to
Yeah.
in a timely fashion. Now they
I would
don't
say
know that.
the
They
way
don't
to
know
do
that
that
would
is
be
maybe
big
a
problem.
Q Maroon there and some M36s because we see some of them near Lima already. They just
Yeah.
haven't really been used.
So I don't disagree with that in principle. I think it maybe doesn't map that well onto this game in particular, just because I think if they were up on trading, then yeah, 100%. But with the trading that's been going on the last 10 minutes or so, I don't really think it's that possible, because even if they get in, the question is what are you going to do with it, right? If I feel like they're sending more in than we can really stop before it hits the woods, well, the Legion are going to pull back a little bit. We have them to fight in the woods. It's not ideal, but we do have very fast motorized units in the Scandinavia infantry tab that can come right in here, and we'll put in a couple more Kustjägeri, we'll put in a couple more Norrlandsjägeri, and retake the woods, I don't think, with too much troubles. And against spam, like, Kustjägeri are an excellent answer to that sort of thing because of the AT-12T. 20 RPM, 25 AP, spam vehicles will not count for much. They'll die in 1 hit each. And
extra ammo with the 15 man as well.
right, so it's just I think it's very tough to do, especially God. I need to smoke my tanks. Goodness gracious. I think it's very tough to do at this stage in the game with the trading that's been going on. This also,
Now, did y'all spot that CV location, or was this just a guess?
yeah, I saw it drive in earlier. I didn't have a reason to start going after it, but now, with 5 minutes left, I didn't see a reason not to, because of the counter cap here, the fact that we saw this Nanayan Shiki ACV come in, and Feelgood is getting ready to put infantry in the town in India as well, so that was just a little bit of, okay, well, let's try and put the nail in the coffin. I think I remember where this is in Lima. You gotta be really careful putting your CV in here, because there's not much cover through this section, and if you have a vehicle that's driving up, it can very much be seen. If you have a helicopter, don't unload it here. Unload it back here, walk the infantry up. It'll take a little bit longer, but then you won't get sniped with that much accuracy later on. So a little bit mean-spirited, but I mean, it helped us maintain a +2, and 30 points a minute is not going to mean that there's all that much left in the game, especially because the strip BV, like, I'm actually smoking it. Not that that matters sometimes, but it lived just long enough to give us a bit more at the end of the game here. By the way, Fighting Falcons have air-to-air. Well, maybe that's why people don't use it for that, but you can. And killing that tiger, if we'd done that a little earlier.
I think when people buy that plane, it's for the bombs. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
maybe
100%.
maybe it's a hunch.
Yeah, it 100% is. It's just, you know, if you ever buy something that's multi-roll and you forget about the other roll, man,
Oh,
yeah, double
that
roll.
tiger paid for itself a couple times over, though.
It did, it did. The helicopters from Donski, the planes from both of these players were very, very good throughout the entire match. I mean, Red Havoc's Peace Pheasant 2s definitely got their value back. Donski's Tigers definitely got their value back. Like, even with that big play here in the mid-game, I mean, they're holding on at the end, preventing a +2. Right, like, these guys are fighting to the very last second, which I definitely appreciate. It's amazing sportsmanship in a tournament setting to you know, hold on till the end and not throw in the towel just because the going gets tough. So I was very, very happy about that. So if Donski, if you're listening to this, excellent set. We are going to take it here. We have a couple minutes left in, but thank you for the games, man. I appreciate it. So I think that was a, God, I'm a jerk sometimes. I think that was the replacement CV helicopter.
Oh no.
Yeah. Emphasis on was.
Yeah. This heavy already is relentless. Now, I think that hotel has been somewhat of a point sink, unfortunately, because of the allure of how successful you can be retaking hotel. That you're just looking for any point to have some success and then translate that.
Yeah, definitely.
But once those assets are bought for hotel, it's so difficult to get them to contribute elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's just such big tanks, right? Like, it's all these super heavy tanks. There's just so many points and tracked. So exactly that. I think you hit the nail on the
All
head.
the shiny equipment.
Yeah, but I mean, with that said, like, they fought well in the tank fight there. The worst
they won
moment.
the tank fight.
Well, the only counterpoint to that is the double 103D killing the Leclerc. That was definitely a mark in Scandy's favor, so don't be afraid to approach with double 103D against supers. You can get the kill just because of goofy Scandinavian rate of fire, but Fallschirmjäger, Panzergren moving forward here, Panther, I think the Beacon's firing at that Shikie as well, and that will knock us over into a +2 again.
The IKEA cheese wedges are definitely something special.
Yeah, they are. They are for certain. God, so many dead FSK for no reason. Alright, so final trading was 65-10 for blue, 58-25 for red. Really not as bad as it felt at times. I think that game was very swingy, where we had a lot of dynamic moments going one way or the other based off the air game, based off of hotel. And that is going to conclude this best of 3. My own team did proceed on. And unfortunately, Team Donski has been eliminated. Everybody with me here in Discord, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Okay, before we end this, I'm gonna go on a limb and say that Tiger play definitely shows up in the kill to loss ratio.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
definitely.
I think on both, honestly. Both Feel Goods, Tiger that made those dynamic kills happen in Hotel, and definitely Donski's showing up and killing my CV and things like that, and just getting consistent value. So with that, thank you guys for hanging around. We'll have another game for you here real soon.